All right, guys, welcome on in to Wrestlechats with Sharpy and Ray. Ray, man, how are you?
I'm fantastic, brother, and how are you?
I'm very good. Today we have another sort of special episode. It's a specific thing that we've come up with. We'll explain it to you guys, and then you can let us know in the comments below which ones you think.
Just follow us here, guys. Follow us. It's good, though. It's a good subject.
So the idea of this one is which wrestling gimmick did you like the most from a WWE superstar that evolved over time? So, for instance, we're going to say The Undertaker. You guys can say if he's your favorite, but he basically went from an actual walking dead man to the Ministry of Darkness to then like badass American badass Undertaker. He then went back to the dead man, but would use like MMA moves. And then, he went to like the biker dead man when he shaved his head, but he was still the dead man, but he was kind of a biker, but not really. And then he kind of just turned back to the dead man, and now he's Mark Calloway on a podcast, but he still pops up at WrestleMania in his street clothes, choke slams like, it's all happening. So basically, a character that evolved over time. I want to know, Ray, give me one. What's yours?
So I'm going to kick it off straight away, and the one that I've thought about, which I think is wicked because of when it came out and what product and how they produced it and everything like that, is Bray Wyatt's The Fiend. Okay. So I think Bray Wyatt's The Fiend. So we got Bray Wyatt that came out as the almost swamp-like.
The Eater of Worlds. He started off. Yeah.
Well, it was. I would say it was almost swamp-like, where he had the Wyatt family. So he was like, he came out with the rocking chair and he did have the lantern that was in front of him, to then move into the Fiend, to then move into the Dead Fiend almost.
The burned one.
Oh, did I miss? I think I missed something in there where he was the Eater of Worlds with Matt Hardy. So there's many different types of gimmicks.
He won the WWE Championship in there as well. He like got those dreadlocks, and then that slowly
went up against Undertaker as well. Yeah. The Wyatt family went against a lot of them. But the reason why I like the Fiend so much, to me, it was just before the pandemic happened. So they came out and they had a lot of production behind it, which was the lights, which was the mask, which was the scenery, which was the outfit, which was the attire. And then the pandemic happened, so then we could go into the cinematic more of how the Fiend was actually presented to us. So I know he had feuds with Braun Strowman, where they had a fight, or where they had a cinematic out in the swamp.
Yeah.
He had something also at the same time, or around that same time, with John Cena. So Cena worked with him, and Cena went back to some of his heroic
Firefly Funhouse match.
The Firefly Funhouse match, all those types of things. To me, I would say that the Fiend, for what he did at the time in production-wise, was a game changer for that era of when he came in. That's why, to me, the Fiend is my #1 pick of how good a gimmick was for what Bray Wyatt brought, as in production-wise, to what we did have in WWE at the time.
Wow, not bad.
Thought, Sharpy, what's yours?
Mine's better. I'm going for longevity of a career and the multiple steps this person took to change who he was throughout time. He's still wrestling today and everyone is sick and tired of him. But I'm going to go through his career and talk about all the things that he changed and how he evolved, and his looks, his personalities, his Chris Jericho.
Wow, okay.
He started in let's start with his sort of worldwide debut in WCW as just a cruiserweight.
A young fella.
Young fella, babyface, didn't have much personality. Came to WWE, debuted against The Rock, Monday Night Jericho, Y2J, whatever you want to call him. He stuck through that for a while before he became the return of Y2J in like 2007. And then he quickly changed up into the suit-wearing Chris Jericho, no longer Y2J. He was the like aristocrat, big words, dressed in suits, took himself way too seriously. People hated him. He then sort of transitioned to the GOAT. He was starting to wear his trunks again. He had the GOAT on the back. He then joins Kevin Owens. They do the Festival of Friendship. He develops through that. He leaves WWE. He becomes
had the scarf.
Had the scarves. He had the list. Unbelievable stuff.
Made the list.
Then he goes to New Japan, becomes the Painmaker. Then he goes to AEW, and he does the list version over there. He now becomes Chris Jericho, the Learning Tree. He's just had the longest career. He's had so many changes. And I think from, in terms of impacting the industry, he's probably one of the biggest impacts, just from setting the blueprint of, if you get a gimmick and it's not great, and you're willing to work through it and evolve into something else, if you work hard enough, that he's living proof that, yeah, probably some of the stuff he was given in his early days didn't give him much to do. But if you persevere, you work hard, and you've got belief in yourself, you can do anything that you want. So I think that Jericho is my number one for number of gimmicks and for his longevity as well.
Okay, I did like, great answer, Sharpie. I did like that one.
Came to me real late as we were starting. And I was like, oh, Jericho.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 2, and once again, I'm going to say that this guy's come in and he changed the era at the time of when he was in it, almost changed it and gave it even more attitude and more hardcoreness and more, I would even say, worldwide coverage over what WWE were doing, is Mankind.
Damn it.
Mick Foley's Mankind. For some reason, this man said to his opponent, I have no issues in getting thrown off the top of a 20-foot cage onto a table, onto a wooden table. Mick Foley came in and did Dude Love. Mick Foley came in and did Mankind. Mick Foley came in and did Cactus Jack. All hardcore.
And he wrestled as Mick Foley too. So
and he wrestled as
had
Mick
the
Foley.
4.
So there's 4 gimmicks that he did. I liked Mankind so much because when he was doing it, it was unheard of to come out to the ring and have a window-like light on you as you're in the middle of the ring, like rocking back and forth and screaming out, "Mommy!" and yelling out your hair as you do that. And that character evolved so much to not only be hardcore Mick Foley, Mankind, then evolved into being The Rock and the Sock. And everything that Mick has brought to WWE and everything that he's brought to the wrestling industry, he's a game changer for what he did. Not only has he probably been lit on fire too many times, been smashed in the head with way too many chairs, there is constant highlight reels of what Mick had done probably decades ago now that still get played in WWE still to this day. As a man gets thrown off the top of a 20-foot cage, smashes into a table, gets taken to the back, comes straight back again, gets smashed in the head with the chair, dropped onto thumbtacks, and then stands up to get that iconic shot of him trying to put his tongue through the hole in his lip with thumbtacks
brutal.
hanging off and one of his teeth coming out of his nose. Still to this day will probably be like one of the main pictures, if not the main picture, that would probably be up in WWE head office hallways to this day. My second pick for the best gimmick of a game changer is Mankind, Mick Foley's Mankind.
We've said The Undertaker as our example. Is that because we both agree he's the true number one?
I think because there's so many gimmicks there, and at the same time, yes,
He was
is
basically a
true number
world
one.
champion with all those as
With
well.
all of those, man. Yeah, everything that he did, it would just, it stopped everyone to gore at what this man was doing.
So I have an honourable mention, and it's Kane. He's an honourable mention. But my number 2 pick is Sting.
Oh,
So we had Sting in the
Icon.
1980s wrestling Ric Flair for the WCW World Championship. Then in the 1990s, he changes his blonde hair and bright coloured paint to then sit up in the rafters for a year. He sat up there for a year waiting on Hulk Hogan, full white with some black lines, looking like, is it the Crow?
Yeah, the Crow, yep.
Inspired by that movie, and his gear looks so cool,
So
man.
cool.
Full black outfit with just like the scorpions. He had those cool gloves. Sting's gimmick was unreal.
Coming down from the rafters.
Oh, coming down looking like he was like not alive, and then just popped up and was like, got a baseball bat, boys. Bang! Knocking people out.
Yeah.
Then he went to the NWO, had the red, nah, not so great.
So
but
I
then
lost it.
back to like TNA, he turned into Joker Sting.
So good.
Oh my God, I
So
love that
good.
so much. And then he goes to AEW. He goes to WWE, has a world title shot, and then goes over to AEW, finishes his career there, has some banger matches along the way.
And not only that, brings up young talent at the same time.
Darby Allin with him for 2 years, like just such a giving dude, such a great performer. Sting is my number 2.
Wow, love that, Sharpy, love that.
Yep.
So guys, this is a shout out to you guys out there. The best gimmick from a WWE superstar or even any other promotion that you got that you think is the best and why. Please drop it in the comments below and let us know. If there are some that stand out to us, which I'm quite sure there's so many more.
Heaps.
I mean, we could go on for a long,
could do
long
15
time about
each.
this.
Yeah.
Easily. If there are some that do stand out to us, we will revisit this subject maybe later on down the track.
Absolutely.
Hopefully you guys can drop in some more. So thank you very much for watching it along, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Totally different subject than what we're trying to bring up right now. So please drop your comments below and let us know. Thank you very much, guys.
Bye for now.
Peace.